Hey everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at the Kuat NV 2.0 2-bike platform rack and how it fits our 2023 Toyota Highlander. So the Kuat NV is really popular as a premium bike rack with premium features. If you want almost the best of the best, this is what you would go with. Now it does have some downsides like its premium price, as well as it is a hefty bike rack. So we'll talk about that, but we're going to focus on our Highlander. The first feature this has is it tilts away. There's an easy to access lever in the center of the rack. We're going to pull that lever and then just let the bike rack drop down to a tilt. Why would you tilt your bike rack away? Well, if you want to access your hatch. So the tilt isn't that deep, but fortunately for the Highlander, there's plenty of clearance to clear our pedals and our handlebars. We can now reach into our trunk, grab whatever we need, whether it's our waters, our helmets. We can hang out here and switch our shoes. All that can be done without taking our bikes off, making for a faster and just smoother experience overall. When lifting the bike rack up, I do recommend holding onto the rack by the frame and not your bike. Also, this does have a 60-pound per bike weight capacity, which is a lot, good for electric bikes. Downside is that's also a lot of weight you are going to have to tilt away and lift back up. The way this holds onto your bikes is you have two touch points. The first is going to be our front wheel hook. This makes a really secure fit to your bike and also means it doesn't touch any part of your frame. So if you have a carbon fiber frame bike, a step-through bike, no need for frame adapters. Here we have our rear wheel strap. This is where we're going to start when we want to take the bike off. At the end of the tray, you have your cable lock, so make sure that that's unlocked and put away. As you press this button, lift up on the strap, and this slides back and forth for those different wheelbases. Once that's out of the way, we then hold onto the bike, press the button on our front wheel hook, lift up, push out, and now we're ready to go on a bike ride. This is a great time to look at the bike's trays. Notice that front wheel cradle and how it has different grooves for those different tire sizes. Whether you have a thin road bike tire or a fat bike tire, this can fit it. Now over here, you have that strap. If you do have that fat bike of more than 3 inches, you do get one strap adapter. But if you have two fat bikes, you're going to have to purchase another one separately. This folds down to be more compact and neat. Notice that nice orange anodized look. That's because this is the Kuat NV in gray. You can also get this in metallic black, which will have silver accents instead. Works the exact same way, just a different look depending on your trim or your color. For our red Highlander here, I like that gray and that orange. But let's talk about measurements. One is going to be how much space does this take up behind my car? So from our bumper to the end of the rack, I have it at 35 inches. And that's something to remember if you're backing into a small garage, trying to park into a tight spot. You already have a larger vehicle, so you want to make sure you have enough clearance. Now for ground clearance, that's from the bottom of the tray to the ground, 24.5 inches. So the hitch receiver on our Highlander is kind of high up off the ground, which means that's how much height you're going to have to lift your heavy electric bikes up to get onto the rack. If that's going to be an issue for you, fortunately, this does have the access ramp add-on sold separately, and you can attach it so you can just ramp your bikes up instead of lifting them up. So speaking of lifting up, we're going to pull that lever we pulled earlier, lift up against the vehicle. Now we're in the compact portable position. So bumper to the end of the rack now sits at 17.5 inches. Big difference compared to when it was folded down. You also now have access to the repair stand included with your bike rack. If you get the Kuat NV base, you do get a slightly more affordable bike rack with the same design, but the base does not have the repair stand. Folding it up, you see that it has the knob to tighten down the anti-rattle, so no tools involved. The lever, making it easy to just step on and bring the rack down. And you have full visibility, well, almost full visibility back here. windows visible, taillights visible, license plate slightly visible, backup camera sits right above that repair stand. So what I recommend doing is, with that repair stand, if you could store it into the side position, that gives you slightly more visibility. And when you go into reverse, you are going to see the bike rack, but you'll also be able to see if there's any vehicles or people behind you. So mostly visible through that camera. This is a hefty and sturdy bike rack, strong and secure in your hitch receiver. If you do not already have a hitch, you can find one here at eTrailer. We installed this 2-inch hitch receiver for this bike rack. It is a great fit with this car. You can expand this and get up to 4 bikes with the add-ons. If you like the style, don't need the great weight capacity, and want something lighter, check out the Kuat Sherpa as an alternative, or even the Rocky Mounts monorail. Unfortunately, those do not have add-on ramps, so that's something to consider if you have extra heavy electric bikes. But other than that, this was a look at the Kuat NV 2.0 2-bike platform rack, and we saw it on the 2023 Toyota Highlander.